Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our 2023 first business keynote of the day. I have a little bit of Ty Law's vodka, Corvus vodka. It's fantastic. Drinking on the job, one of the benefits. It is my pleasure to introduce our business keynotes today. Our first MC is from the Greg Hill Morning Show. And we think back to the pandemic. Greg Hill was the first person to put up his hand and say, how can I help the restaurant industry? And with his power and his microphone and with the Sam Adams, he started the Restaurant Strong Fund. And they generated millions of dollars in support for the restaurant industry. Greg Hill has been an unbelievable advocate for the restaurant industry, and we're proud to have him as a partner. Come on up, Greg. Cheers. And Greg's guest for today, you might know him from Tuesdays with Ty on a Sunday, three-time Super Bowl champion, New England Patriot, 2014 Patriots Hall of Famer, 2019 NFL Hall of Famer, Corvus Vodka, the official vodka of the NFL Hall of Fame, our good friend, Ty Law.
Get it.
Cheers, man.
All right. Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, what we got? See, I got some already waiting for you. That's good. That's all right. That's good.
You're all set.
You're
You're
good.
all set.
How you guys doing?
Afternoon, everybody. We're here with the NFL Hall of Famer, entrepreneur, on-air sports content provider. And if you look under your seat, Ty, this is like the Oprah show. Ty has given everybody a bottle of his new vodka. So just look under your seat. Oh, wait, he didn't. All right, he didn't. But maybe we'll do it.
Hey, next time.
Next time.
Next time, I promise, next time.
You want to start on football or you want to start on vodka?
We can start on anywhere we want to go. Hey, anywhere you want to go.
Anywhere we want to go? All right.
World.
So let's talk a little bit about the
Ty Tuesdays on a Sunday.
Yeah, Ty's on my show every Tuesday. We established, since the FCC governs what we can say on the radio, we established a swear jar for every time Ty says something he shouldn't say. And we ended up with, at the end of the season, I think $2,500.
$2,500
for the foundation.
You guys are welcome to join us. If you got something that you want to get off your mind, you want to just say something, just come in and put in the swear jar. This is a swear jar today if you just got a curse for a cause. Cursing for a cause, that's what we call it.
I was gonna start with Belichick and crap, but let's start with the ring. Now that show the ring. Show everybody the ring.
Which one?
Well,
I got a couple of them now. Which one?
I mean, let's start with Patriots.
Okay,
obviously.
Patriots. Okay, there we go.
That's pretty nice, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty nice.
This is number 3. You know, the biggest one. They've been in my safe for the longest. I have not worn them until I start doing events. And actually, Ryan DR made me bring it out because I wasn't going to do it. 110 Grill, Ryan.
Good job. Yeah, give Ryan a round of applause.
So give Ryan a round of applause because I haven't seen these rings in so long, but, you know, it's for a good cause.
All right, so what would you guess? I feel like there's more dysfunction going on in the Patriots organization than ever, and I feel like it is currently between Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick. What do you think?
You know what? Anytime you had so much success, you know, in a period of time, which we've never seen in the NFL, when you have that many championships, when you have the GOAT and Tom Brady, as soon as things start to unfoil a little bit, because this is professional sports, you got to remember the other guys get paid too. But we had so much success, we got spoiled. So the first thing you're going to point to is there must be something going on with the ownership and Bill Belichick. I know it's a lot of been made about his comment as far as what's going to get guys excited. But that's Bill being Bill. And I think if you really look at it, yeah, the last 25 years is something to be excited about. But this league is about what have you done for me now? So basically, you know, no one's trying to hear that right now, Bill. What is going to get people excited? But he did have a point. And we are just spoiled as New Englanders, which is a good thing.
Yeah, we are spoiled. But we need a championship.
No, we definitely need a championship. But think about all the success and the cheers and the pride that we brought to the city. Sometimes it takes time. You know, we did something that was so unusual in the world of sports, in the world of professional football, we tend to get blinded by that success. It's a lot of turnover. It's something out there called free agency, guys. And guess what? And no matter how you want to call it, even though you can love the place where you're playing at, people are trying to go and do better for themselves and make a better life so they make as much money as they can, because in our world as players, you know what the NFL means? What does the NFL mean to you? National Football League.
Football League, yeah.
And what I think, not for long. Because one play, it can be done. So, you look at it, from that perspective, and it might change a little bit.
How long do you think Bill will coach for?
Bill can coach as long as he wants to coach. I think that he can coach another 5 years because, you're talking about, age and health, but Belichick, when he's not, he's always down there on the treadmill. He's down there working out in there with the guys, and that's a lot. I think that's things that people don't understand about him, so he keeps himself in good shape. But I think for all the success he's had, I will give him another, 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years.
I'll give him 2 to 3 years. Now, if he starts to win and, get, on a championship run or something like that, it could be longer, but I'll give him another 2 to 3 years.
And do you think he finishes here?
I can't see him going to rebuild another program, you know what I mean? So, of course, he's going to finish here. But in this league, again, not for long. So, what have you done? It's a what have you done for me lately type of league. And who would ever thought that, our quarterback, the great Tom Brady, would go anywhere else other than New England? And he went and did it, and he actually won. But it's certain guys that you don't think that it'll happen to. But if you think about all the great ones, the Tom Bradys, who would ever thought Emmitt Smith would suit up anywhere other than a Dallas Cowboy? Who would ever thought Jerry Rice would have suited up anywhere but San Francisco? I know I'm not on that level. I'm a Hall of Famer, but damn it, I never thought I would see me playing for the Jets. But it happened, you know what I mean? Because this is the world that we live in, and it's the business. So, no one's exempt. So Belichick, he could do it, but I don't think that he will want to go rebuild.
Speaking of the Jets, in your mind, how much better does Aaron Rodgers make that football team?
Did you see that quarterback play from the Jets? Hell, I can't throw, guys. I had 2 shoulder surgeries, but I could have did that shit. I could have did that, So
that's $250.
That's $200 in the swear jar.
jar.
Hey, hold on. Hold on. That's $200. Every time you do it, you got to put $200 in the swear jar for the Greg Hill Foundation. It's a good cause. There we go.
Good. All right, yeah. Good.
Swear jar right there. Swear cup.
So you could have played quarterback for the Jets.
Yes.
But the division is not easy. So you got Buffalo. Miami continues to get better. It's going to be difficult for the Patriots to compete in this division, and even harder with Aaron Rodgers.
It's going to be tougher. Of course, we know the talent that Aaron Rodgers is. I mean, from a talent perspective, he's arguably one of the greatest ever from a talent perspective, but it's football. It's a long season. You have to stay healthy. A lot of things have to happen for you to be successful. And just like you get super teams in basketball, who would ever thought that Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving would be stinking up the joint like that together? You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have success, but being that you're the Jets and that you had such bad play at quarterback, it's going to be an obvious upgrade, but I don't think that's going to lead to a championship. And then when you're talking about coaching, I still think Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time, and he's one of the best coaches in the game right now because look at the talent that he's working with. So to still be competitive with the talent, I think he's doing a hell of a job.
On that note, you love being coached by Bill. We've talked to you a lot about that. Mm-hmm. There are some guys like Asante Samuel who this week went out of his way to tell Lamar Jackson that he didn't want to play for Bill Belichick.
I didn't see that one.
What is it about guys like that who didn't have that same experience with Bill?
You know what? I can't say.
You had issues with Bill, but it was really only when you were negotiating, when you wanted your money.
Bill is a great guy. Like, I was just with Bill like last week. We sat in the office for about an hour and we just chopped it up, catching up, and we just talking about life and football. The only time that you don't get along with Bill Belichick is during contract negotiations. I'm going to say that right now. Me and Bill, we don't get along during negotiation of a contract, but as soon as the ink is dry, it's all love. You know what I mean? I think that's anytime. Anytime you're going through that because now you're talking about, hey, I got to do what's best for me. He has to do what's best for the team, and you're going to have that conflict, you know what I mean? Because it's just for that moment. But when it came to football, on the field, and if you need to talk to Coach Belichick about anything, his door is open. And I think it's a misconception of who he is as a person, because when the cameras come on, for whatever reason, it's like, catch him with the cameras off and give him a drink. Bill gonna drink one with you.
Well, I think there's a perception that he may not be able to coach this new generation of athlete the way he was able to coach guys like you. Do you think that's our athletes different? Are millennial athletes different now?
No, it is a little different, and I think, you know, Coach Belichick, I can't see him being on social media, so it's a social media world. So could you imagine Coach Belichick on TikTok or Facebook or
with
Instagram?
Juju? He's going to be with Juju on TikTok?
Yeah, so that's not Coach Belichick. So it is going to be adjustment, you know, for him, because that's what the world has come to. I mean, it's like I look at the social media as like a catch-22. It's a great thing to be able to tell your own story, you know, to expose whatever you're doing, but it also can be a detriment to the team when you're trying to do something, if you're caught up into that word, if you're caught up into that digital world. Coach Belichick is never going to be comfortable or allow that to control his locker room. So if that's what you are, if you're a TikTok person, if you're social media and you think you're going to tape everything, he'll take away everybody's phone before he lets that happen. So he's never going to get comfortable with that.
When you look back on influences in your life, is he top 10? Is he top?
Man, you know what, Greg? If I would say Coach Belichick, he definitely had a huge impact on my football career, but when I look at life, you know, I can't say, you know, top 10, because I had a lot of, you know, growing up in Aliquippa, I had so many other influences, you know, in my life, so it would be a disservice and injustice to them to say, you know, by the time I got 21 years old, this guy did this. You know what I mean? I came there to do a job and play football, but he was very impactful as far as how I looked at the game and certain personal things I had going on in life. He helped there, but I was already a man by the time I got there.
Who are some of those influences?
Well, the biggest influence in my life has been my grandfather. You know, and like without him, you know, I can tell you right now, I would not be sitting on this stage. I would not be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I would not be doing Vodka. You know, he kept me out of the streets. I came up, you know, in a rough town. There was a lot of, you know, drugs and things like that, and that's what my surrounding was. So, you know, he kept me out of that, and the respect that I have for my grandfather, you know, to this day when I think about him, I get choked up, because I know that I would probably be, you know, dead or behind bars if it wasn't for him.
When it comes to,
because I was raised by my grandfather, like even on my birth certificate, legally, my grandfather is there. You know what I mean? So, so you see Ray Law as my biological father. Yeah.
You guys, and I hope you're ready with questions, because when we get to the end of this, we're gonna take a bunch of questions for Ty. So
hold on, you just got me emotional, man.
I'm glad.
God damn. Hold on, let me put on my protection. You know, to make me feel a little better. Let me put on my shield, man, because you trying to make me cry in front of all these guys.
I don't want to.
Let me give me my shield, man. Hold on, man. Let me my shit. Hold on.
All right, now this is pretty cool.
Yeah, let me get it on, man. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Let me hook it up. Let me get a little protection, man, because Greg up here trying to make me cry in front of all the people. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Instagram this.
Yeah, like this guy there. There we go. Now I'm comfortable. You can't make me cry this shit right here, Dick. Oh, damn, I said it again.
That's another $200.
Yeah, I said that.
All right, so I'm on Instagram.
Yeah,
so
we got,
now we got the jacket.
Yeah, we got the jacket on. Let me take the glasses. We got the jacket.
Got the jacket.
Yeah, we got the jacket.
And we got the vodka.
And we got the vodka.
And we got the people. You guys make some
noise.
Guys,
make
some noise.
Right here, I'm telling you, we over there. Hey, Ryan, what booth are we at, Ryan? What number? Okay, that way, go to the Corvus, but we're going to take some pictures. I want everybody to come have a drink with me. Hey, I got Delvin Terry right here. This is, President of Rhode Island Hospitality. Guess what? We got restaurants in Rhode Island. Dale, I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, we were talking about Matunic Oyster Bar, which is arguably the top 10 restaurant in the U.S., in my humble opinion. So that's in Rhode Island. So let's get to the vodka.
Okay.
So tell me about what made you want to do this.
Well, I mean, first of all, anybody got kids? Can I say, anybody got kids here? You know, y'all heard of launch trampoline park? You know, that was something I started with, because I said, once I got cut 3 times from the NFL, see, like, y'all see this jacket, but y'all don't understand. I got fired 3 times, y'all. I got fired 3 times. You know, they try to make it good and say you got cut. Damn it, I got fired.
You got fired 3 times.
But you keep going, and you keep moving, and I'm still in the Pro Football Hall of Fame after getting fired 3 times. So it was my goal and my mission when I got done playing football. Damn it, I'm gonna do all the hiring and firing. I want to be in that seat right there. You know what I mean? But it was what I love the industry so much. After I did my first business, I was able to exit successfully out of launch. You know, I started with 1 store and I sold it at 36, open locations, across the U.S. And that was the franchise part. But I said I wanted to keep it going. So, I was fortunate enough to sell, my interest 30 days before COVID hit. And everyone's always telling me, oh man, you're so smart. No, I'm not. Damn it, that was luck. That is not smart at all. I was lucky all day. So I was fortunate, to win in that area. But, and I was, I partnered up with another company, in the spirits industry. We're not going to, talk about that. But we're not going to say we had some.
We have talked about
it.
Right.
We're not going to talk about it now. We had some philosophical differences. Yeah. I mean, it was a great product, but I fell in love with the industry because it's not. I could just be myself. And I said, just dealing with people and just going around. I mean, I love what I did, going to bartend and things like that, to people that supported it. I got behind, I used that platform to, do for the Hall of Fame, because I wouldn't be here or living in the life that I live and to be in the position that I am in without the guys that paved the way before me. So a portion of every bottle goes back to the former Players Assistance Fund that fell on hard times with the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
with the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. Because think about it, Greg, those guys back in the day, and it's like I can't even fathom, these owners right now wouldn't be buying those teams if it wasn't for the guys that had the names that made the game great.
Right.
My uncle was Tony Dorsey. Right,
nothing.
Exactly. Who made nothing. They had to get jobs on the off season. It's like they got to provide for their families, not through football. They loved the game so much that they played, for basically minimum wages to have a job in the off season. That's when you're supposed to train in the off season. They had to get a job to make money. So I think that we owe them a great deal of gratitude by, giving them back. At least I do, because, I knew I wouldn't be here without them.
It's a pretty amazing thing.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you choose the name?
Well, Corvus, I said, I wanted to get something catchy. You want to get something to roll off the tongue. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right. I was going through a lot because I'm not worried about my name being on this, people talking like lockdown, interception and all that. No, I'm trying to, build a brand that means something, to me when I'm sitting there like, okay, Corvus is, the raven is a mythological type of, animal. It's intelligence, partnerships, and if you look at it, if you Google it, and what the Corvus is it's like, man, they got a lot of stuff going on with that one, but the whole partnership thing as far as protection and knowledge, that's what it's all about. Some people got the mythology of Corvus being, death, or it's a black bird. No, when I see a Corvus, think about when you go to a restaurant on the outside in Florida. What do? You see all them ravens sitting there waiting for you to leave. If, they ain't gonna bother you, but as soon as you throw that French fry out there, they going to get it. They appreciative. They got a partnership.
They're thankful.
They're thankful. You know what I mean? So it was just something I thought that was it was something different. It rolls off the tongue, and that's like, hey, a Corvus and cranberry. A Corvus Carter. You know what I mean? So I thought that was pretty cool, and I just rolled with it from there.
This is a business question, but I think it's interesting because a lot of restaurant people here, a lot of bar people here. Now that you've done this for a little while, did it once, and you're going to do it again with Corvus, what in your mind makes a great partnership between, like you have a great partnership with 110 Grill.
Right. Look, I wouldn't be here without Ryan, Dion, Kim, Amy, Rob at 110 Grill. So I want to thank you guys so much,
they're awesome.
For believing in me, and they're my partners. So I'm here today because of them. So, I want to say it again, Ryan, Kim, thank you. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
But what is it that makes a great partnership like that?
It's belief.
Because it's belief.
It's belief in one another. I mean, I think what makes a great partnership, what we do, every Tuesday, is belief in one another that we're going to be authentic, we're going to be real, we're going to go back and forth. We might not agree on the same things all the time. You have your opinion, I have my opinion, but at the same time, it's the belief and the respect that we're going to deliver, and I think that's what it's all about. It's authentic because I've already given back $35,000, which isn't changing lives like that, but it's a start. I've already given $35,000 back to the Players Assistance Funds, guys who fell on hard times, and we're very prideful as athletes. But the reality is a lot of guys that have these gold jackets that that's all they have. Some guys have passed on and moved to the to the heavens. Their widows are still here. I want to be able to help them because their husbands helped me. So that's what it's all about. So it's a belief in, it's a belief. That's all I can say. It's a belief, man.
Two-part question when it comes to, another round of applause. This is really good. Two-part question when it comes to those guys. Who were the guys growing up that you watched play in the NFL that you idolized? And then the second part of that will be the guys early on in your career that were real mentors for you. But who did you watch growing up?
Well, of course, for me, especially during Thanksgiving, my uncle was Tony Dorsett, So that I was always a Cowboy. I grew up a Cowboy fan. I'm from Pittsburgh, so everybody's like, you had to be a Steeler fan, which everyone in my household, everyone in the neighborhood on my street was a diehard Pittsburgh Steeler fan. I had so much respect for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but, I'm loyal. I'm a family guy, you know what I mean? So I'm going with Tony Dorsett. He grew up on the same street that I grew up on, and I spent my summers, down there every summer from the time I was in 8th grade all the way to when I went to college. So though he had a major impact on me. I've never even seen an in-the-ground pool outside the public swimming pool. He had shit in his backyard. Damn, another one. Damn. I mean, like, I grew up in the neighborhood. If you had a pool, it was like a big cup of coffee in the backyard, you know what I mean? It was on the ground and all that, so I never seen one that was actually built in the ground, and I got to experience something that people from my area, we don't get to experience.
Where's Raymond?
Huh? There go cousin Raymond. There go cousin Raymond right there. Hey, what up, Ray Dog?
You have to go to the ATM. Like, we're at 600.
I know. We have about like $600 already.
He's dropped 5 S-bombs.
Is somebody going to drop? What? Watch this. Hey, watch. Hey, Dale. Say something for the swear jar. I know, because you got a potty mouth sometimes. Go ahead and say it right there.
Am I going to say shit or something like that?
See, there you go. There you go. See, that's a swear jar.
I don't know if she's held to the same. We didn't make
a
sign a waiver.
But that's what we come here
sign
for.
A waiver.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, you know who can get down? Ryan and Kim. Watch this. Go ahead, Kim. Go ahead, right there.
I already have a swear jar at work.
Okay, go. You can swear. You can swear right now. Go ahead.
Your show is fucking great.
See, there we go. See, hey, cursing for a cause, everybody. Cursing for a cause. We got,
all right.
And we got $200 more to the swear jar.
It's a one-time only with me and Ty at this event. So then when you got in the league, who were the guys that you really like when you look back and go, all right, that guy made a difference in my career, and me as a player, and me as a man? Who are those guys?
I still will go back to Tony Dorsett, because when I went down in the summer times with Tony Dorsett, I got to work out with Everson Walls, Ron Springs, rest in peace, Ken Norton Jr., Tony Hill, Drew Pearson, Ed Too Tall Jones. I was infatuated with. I'd have to name somebody. How could you be that tall playing football? You would think it was a basketball player. So I got to be at the cookouts and all that stuff just for 2 weeks out of every summer. But it was such a major impact on me. But growing up every day, my heroes were the high school guys. Whoever played for Aliquippa High School, and they were the big names and the stars, because our whole city shut down for Friday night football. Those were my heroes. Until I went down there and seen, like, damn, you can get all this for, playing football, playing a sport, you know what I mean? Yeah. And Tony has hit every high, from All-American High School, National Championship, Heisman Trophy, and I actually got to see the Heisman Trophy. Just like that bus is sitting there, that's what Tony had in his house along with the Heisman Trophy. And I used to just sit there, you know, by myself and just stare and imagine and just like, look, one day that's going to be me. Until he has this uncanny way of busting your bubble. I was sitting there looking at the Heisman Trophy, and I had already got drafted. He was like, I don't know what you're looking at that for. He said, that ship them sailed. So he said that was no way to get that, but I still had my eyes set on that bus. And I said, one day, when it's all said and done, I want to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And if you dream it, if you think it, you can believe it, it'll happen.
We talked a little bit about negotiating with Bill, and that your experiences there, you know, well documented publicly. When you look at somebody like Lamar Jackson and what's gone on with him up till this point, what do you think is going on there? Like, do you think that, you know, that the owners are colluding and trying to hold back on guaranteed money? Do you think that there are teams that, I mean, because it seems to me like that's a guy who instantly makes your football team a lot better, and there doesn't seem to be right now a lot of interest in trading for him.
You know what? I think it's like with any exclusive club, and at the end of the day, this is a business, and I think that, you know, we get personal, like this is a good football player. At the end of the day, NFL is a business. So, of course, if you're an owner, and this is just my belief, I don't know, I'm not in there, but if you own a team, I own a team, it's like they paid this. That's why I say salary cap. If somebody totally obliterates the salary cap, they're going to look at that as you're messing it up for everybody. I don't know if it's collusion, but I think it's safe to say that there's something going on that they're talking, you know, just like players talk. You know, it's been times where it's a lot of times it's DBs, we're DBs. To give you guys an example, hey, if you're playing against this receiver before, hey, we stick together. You might play for another team. Hey, Dion, you know, Prime, hey, what's going on? What you think
Here's
about
what you do here.
Hey, this is what you do here. Hey, Rod Woodson, same thing. Charles Woodson, Champ Bailey. We all had communications as long as we wasn't playing each other's team, because at the end of the day, we're DBs and they're receivers. Y'all prima donnas, we're tough guys. And so we talked amongst each other. But I think that the owners that you think about, it's only 32 owners. At the end of the day, they're worried about the bottom line. And I'll say it because there ain't nobody paying $1 billion just to have some without trying to get a return on their investment. So, of course, they want to keep things in order. But for Lamar Jackson to be out there, no one's doing something, you can't help but speculate that, man, something is wrong. Because I know he can help somebody else's team. But at the end of the day, it's business, and the owner has to write the check, and you're talking about, if they saying he's asking for a $200+ million guarantee because the precedent was already set, it's a copycat league. It's a copycat contract. When Deion Sanders, I'm going to tell you right now, I never thought that it would happen for a defensive back, but when I seen on Deion Sanders that he went and got $50 million from the Cowboys, I didn't care about nothing else. All I seen was 50. I said, that's $50 million. Guess what? I was up for negotiation. I want 50. I'm not saying I'm Deion Sanders.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm prime time.
You'll take 49.
But damn it, I'm prime time in New England. I'm the #1 corner. So if that precedent has been set, I want that. And that's what I got.
And that's what he got, which is pretty good. And he deserved it.
Yeah. That's what you go for. So Deshaun Watson has set the precedent of quarterbacks getting that. No one else wants to follow, and then you get all these other quarterbacks getting this. You have to give Lamar Jackson something comparable. Sometimes you might not get, because now that's a desperate team. He messed up the market by a lot. No one was getting that type of money. But Lamar is being Lamar. He believes in himself, and I'm always a proponent of, if you believe in yourself, go for it. But at the same time, you got to be smart, because the way you play the game, you know, with the running and things like that, you know, get your protection and get your security while you can.
So Robert Kraft said this week at the owners' meetings that if Bill wants Lamar Jackson, he should go get Lamar Jackson. Do you think Bill will go get Lamar Jackson? Or do you think Bill's going to stick with Mac Jones?
I mean, Bill's a prideful guy, but at the same time, I know that Bill wants to win. Now, I didn't hear that one. So you said Mr. Kraft said if he wants Lamar Jackson, go get Lamar Jackson.
He said that Meek Mill reached out to him.
Do Meek Mill play? I don't give a damn what Meek Mill said. If he said.
He said Meek Mill reached out to him, said Lamar wants to be a Patriot.
Okay.
And then he said it's up to Bill Belichick.
And that's how you push the blame. And guess what? If somebody says something to me on Tuesday, I'm like, oh, that's up to Greg. That's it. It's his show. You know what I mean?
That's what Robert's doing.
I mean, that's what that is. But at the end of the day, Mr. Kraft has to cut the check. Are you willing to commit? Because guess what? If he owns the team, Mr. Kraft could easily go to Coach Belichick, look, we get Lamar Jackson, pay him what he want. I don't give a damn what you say because I own the team. Mr. Kraft will tell you real quick, bottom right-hand corner. Yeah. You know what bottom right-hand corner means?
That's a check sign.
That's who signed a check,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You know, with my company before, which felt pretty good because Mr. Kraft, told me that before. Hey, launch, bottom right-hand corner. See that name right there? I signed that check. You know what I mean? So it's a different ballgame. So if he wanted to get Lamar Jackson, he can go over Coach Belichick's head, but it's a business, you know what I mean? And I don't buy that one. If he opened up the checkbook, damn it, I'd chip in for Lamar Jackson. I would, because I would love Lamar Jackson to be here, so I chip in my little $500. In the tip jar. This is Lamar Jackson fund. Please come to New England. But you know what? I like Mac Jones. I'm not saying anything negative.
I'm leaving enough time for questions, but we're.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We have fun. This is what we do.
Well, I have a million. Yeah, this is what we do. And so back to, you were talking about talking with other DBs, and who's the hardest receiver your career to cover?
I said it before, and I'm saying, have you ever guys heard of Jimmy Smith? Like, Jimmy Smith was a great receiver. I mean, I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves, and it's like boxing to me. People say it had to be Jerry Rice, T.O., Randy Moss, the guys. No, that wasn't that wasn't like hard to me. That wasn't the matchup. It was the Jimmy Smith that's going to come at you, because I was somewhat of a bully the way I played the game. I tried to play physical and stuff like that, and get up in the face. Like I said, receivers typically prima donnas. They're not tough guys. And I'll say it, you can post it any way you want. They're not tough. You got a couple tough guys, the Hines Wards, the Jimmy Smith, they're tough guys. But most receivers not. And Jimmy Smith, he can run with the best of them. And if you want to fight, he'll fight all game. He's just not trying to run from you. So I had the utmost respect. I knew after that game, when you got to go home and you got to go to sleep, and you was like, man, that was a hell of a fight, that was Jimmy Smith, in my opinion.
Obviously, NCAA-wise, tournament going on the basketball side of things. Do you look back at your time in Michigan and you look what's going on with NILs? Is that a good thing for college athletes? And is it a good thing for college sports?
I think it's great because, the colleges are making, millions and tens of millions of dollars on these athletes, and especially the individuals that, like the quarterbacks or those guys that's, future pros. They're making a lot of money on them. You see a lot of guys, a lot of colleges don't even let you put your name on the back of the shirt. You know what I mean? But for guys to be able to get paid and get compensated, I think that it's a great thing. The thing that I think that it hurts college football is where, from a recruiting standpoint, I know a lot of coaches, and they say the recruiting gets harder. A good friend of mine is Juwan Howard. We went to school together. It's like the guys coming in, it's not about the basketball program. It's not about what position going to play. What I get from my NIL, how much money I'm going to get. You know what I mean? So
it changes that. It's harder for those guys.
Right, it changes the dynamic.
I think for fans, there's a lot of movement when it comes to players, and I think that can be frustrating for fans.
It can be frustrating for fans, and then they had this portal. As a 17-year-old kid, you think you might want to go somewhere, and this is where I want to go to school, but you're still young. You don't know. You go there and you see the nice facilities. They tell you everything that they want to tell you, and why they're recruiting you. They put you on the screen, on the scoreboard when you're walking into the stadium. But when you get there, it's a totally different story. Because guess what? They did that for 25, 30 other people. So I do love the transfer porthole if you don't abuse it. This might not have been the right place for you. Tell me how many of us as 17, 18-year-old kids made the right decision. We knew exactly what we wanted to do. Hell, we didn't know. So it's great that you're able to make a choice and change now.
Before we get to questions, I want to look ahead to this NFL season, and Bill O'Brien in your mind, how much difference, let's say nothing happens with Lamar Jackson, Mac Jones is your starter week 1, how much difference do you think Bill O'Brien makes when it comes to Mac Jones and this football team?
No, it's going to give him some consistency. You know what I mean? Because when you're talking a couple guys playing calls, I mean, he is a offensive coordinator. So I think Mac Jones is going to flourish now. I always wondered, that sophomore slump, you have that anyway because you have certain expectations. You made it to the playoffs, but he needed some consistency, somebody he can look up to and not, who am I listening to? I'm listening to Bill. Am I listening to this guy? Am I listening to Patricia? He has a true offensive coordinator, so I think that he will flourish, but I still think that he needs somebody out there on the outside that can help him. You can have a great quarterback. Like I said, Tom Brady, he gets all the credit, but he had good people to throw to. He didn't have, and you see the one time that he got Randy Moss, he break records. But Mac Jones is the type of quarterback that he needs a receiver. He needs a deep threat. He needs a tight end. If you give him that, he'll be able to facilitate and move the offense. I think the defense were fine, but until they get guys on the outside, he's just going to be like a little better than average. But if you get him some weapons, and with Bill O'Brien, I think that we will have a chance to compete.
And Juju is an upgrade, but he's not that guy in your mind.
I think Juju is a good receiver. He can move the chains. He's a possession. He's going to catch the ball. But do I think that he's a threat, which as a defensive back, we like, who is the threat? I'm saying that if I was playing, I wouldn't be threatened by Juju. I don't think that he would run. I'm not worried about him running by me. So I'm going to play with a different type of swagger. But you also understand who he is. He's a good, number 2, a great number 3, but he's not a number 1 in my opinion.
All right. See what I get to do every Tuesday. I get to talk like this with Ty Law, which give him a round of applause because he's awesome. We're going to go questions for a little bit.
Yeah, let's open it up. Come on.
And Ty wants you to ask anything. Ask anything Sunday with Ty.
We got the Sunday with Ty.
All right.
Who was the toughest receiver you ever played against?
He was having a lot of Corvus over there. I like you. You were drinking a lot of Corvus, so I appreciate
he might be asking that difference. I said who was the hardest to cover.
No, the toughest. I would still say Jimmy Smith, bro. Jimmy Smith. He had that type of. He had the speed of a Marvin Harrison and the power of a T.O. and Eric Mose. He was a real tough guy because a lot of times I'll get up and get up in their face. And Coach Belichick, to his credit, that's why I love Coach Belichick. He knew I was good for a flag, and he would actually say, "As long as you do it early," and so I got to get away with a penalty, just to establish myself. As long as he said, "Just don't do it on third down and cost us the fucking game." You know what I mean? But Jimmy Smith, he was a problem, bro. Jimmy Smith.
So we've got another one here. I think he wants to ask you, who's the toughest receiver you ever went against?
How did it feel to pick off Peyton Manning 3 times in that AFC Championship game?
That was
beautiful.
What? Everyone always talks about, my favorite game and the favorite interception, but that right there, the AFC Championship game. I mean, of course, you wish it was the Super Bowl, the only game in town, but that was probably, the most exciting game, the most I felt invincible, for whatever reason. You know how you just get in that zone. There was nothing that he can do, and it showed that game, man. But it was awesome. But I actually got 10 off Peyton, so that was just 3.
Ty, we're going way down the end there.
What we got?
What do you think of Zappy as a quarterback?
You got to repeat. The mic wasn't on at the beginning.
What do you think of Zappy as a quarterback?
All right.
When Zappy was in here, I was happy. You know what I mean? So, you got to give a guy credit, for coming in and taking the reins. But they drafted Mac Jones in the first round, so he's going to get more opportunity. They got to invest in more because
it's his job. It's his job to lose.
Right, it's his job to lose, but to have a viable backup, just like they got up in San Francisco. Guess what? He proved his worth. Because normally those guys can get cut the next year. You prove yourself worthy of another opportunity and at least to be that backup. And then if Mac Jones or whoever messes up, we know we got somebody that we can put in and plug and play. So it's going to keep the pressure on Mac, knowing that if you come off the field, Zappy making a lot of New Englanders happy. You know what I mean? So you got to stay on it. But Mac Jones is clearly the better quarterback right now. He has the most experience. They got the most money invested in him, the most time invested in him. So I think we got to give Mac Jones a chance, man. I like Mac.
How's it going? First, thank you so much for all the memories growing up and watching you guys play. I think that was, it was truly amazing. Great to see. A little aside of football, though. So in regards to the vodka, what made you want to go vodka instead of, say, a tequila, a gin, a rum?
You know what?
And what process, too, for constructing that and going through that whole thing to create such a, and I had it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, I appreciate that question because vodka, I was told, do not do it because you can make vodka out of a lot of things. Grapes,
Potatoes.
wheat, potatoes, rye, corn. They even making stuff with whey. I don't know how good they're gonna do because that's definitely not gluten free. So but that's neither here nor there. But you can make vodka out of so many things, and it's actually the most competitive market, in the industry. But the way I look at it as still as an opportunity. I'm a vodka drinker. It's one thing getting into something that you don't do. I drink vodka and I drink tequila. I'll be perfectly honest with you. So for me, when people try to discourage, say, don't do that, I'm like, well, I've covered Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, Marvin Harrison. Damn it, I can cover Tito too. Shit, I ain't worried about him. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it because he is the king of the crop.
He's the king.
He's the king, and it's no disrespect, but it's like, I hear his story, and I was like, if he can do it, why can I? And guess what? We in New England. I think that's a Texas vodka, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's Texas. So right now in New England, if I can't win in New England, something wrong. I got home field advantage right here, and I think I got a superior product. I mean, the cause that we're doing the partnerships that we have and the cause, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. But, to answer your question, is like, I'm a vodka drinker, and then the process that I went through every flavor, at least 30, 40 variations. No, this ain't right. Take the nose up here. And just, I enjoy the process. I'm a process type of guy. I enjoy the process. Even when I started my trampoline parks, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I just know that this industry, I can work with this. Yeah. I had no clue, you know what I mean? And you win, you lose, but you stay with it and you keep going. I didn't wake up and become a Hall of Famer, in football. I had to work for 30 years, from 7 to 37, for 30 straight years. So I understand, process, and not being afraid and betting on yourself has always worked for me. And I feel like if I put out a great product, people will enjoy it. They'll see the passion that comes from, within on anything. Because I couldn't just throw out anything. I just couldn't do it. I wouldn't put my name on it. I wouldn't go through this many variations and think that you could just throw out a tweet. I'm going to be here, for it because I believe in it. And I think if you do that, you'll be successful. And it's not going to be overnight. I know I'm going to have to earn, customers. I'm going to have to earn your trust. Yeah, and
you want to build a brand.
I want to build a brand, right? The Patriots wasn't built, when I got drafted. You know what I mean? Like I said, it is what it is now. 6 championships later, after 25 years. You know what I mean? When I got to the Patriots, that damn stadium looked like my high school stadium. I was like, God damn. But look at it now. Look at Patriot Place now. You know what I mean? So it's a process. I was glad to be a part of the process. So, that's how I look at it.
So, Ty, I got a question over here.
Yep.
Right over here, this way.
It might be, but I'm going to stick with this vodka. I'm going to stick with the vodka for now. What'd you say? Where we at? I can't see.
Right here. I got a question from the Massachusetts Restaurateur of the Year.
All right. Ooh. Whoa.
Yo, what up, T?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I got a 2-parter for you.
Yes.
So, with the vodka, who's the distributor in Massachusetts?
The distributor in Massachusetts is Martinetti. Hey, Martinetti is the distributor. Hey, they the biggest, baddest distributor, in Massachusetts and throughout New England, man. So I want to thank those guys, and I'm looking forward to it. So if you got a restaurant, and congratulations as well, you know what I mean? So I'm going to put you on the spot. I expect Corvus to be on the menu on a couple drinks.
That's why I'm asking.
Okay, there we go. Hey, tell him, Ryan. Hey, Ryan, 110 Grill, we got a couple drinks on the menu, so y'all go check it out.
Ryan's already been whispering in my ear.
Exactly, there you go. And that's what partnerships are all about. So when you ask that question, Gray, that's what a partnership is, man. So we'd love to partner with you, but hey, congratulations, because you deserve it. And hey,
thank you.
To do with all these restaurants to get Entrepreneur of the Year and Restaurant of the Year, that's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. So now my next question is, with all these FanDuel and all these sports betting, right?
Right.
You have a concern, like maybe with the college kids. Now they're getting a little bankroll. Now these gambling books, like I know I've got college kids, and they're hitting the buttons a lot. I'm trying to tone them down. But what about like the sports kids? Like, would you any concern there, or do you think about, or does anybody think about that?
Yeah, I think it is a concern somewhere, but I'm happy that they are able to get compensated for what the revenues that they're bringing in. But being a gambler myself before and playing blackjack and all that can kill you. And you don't want to start kids off young and trying to flip money like that. You want to earn it, the good old-fashioned way. So. It's always that gray area. You want them to get compensated, but at the same time, you don't want to get them caught up into doing things that can cost them later on in life before they actually make some damn money. You know what I mean? So, but getting paid and helping your family, because I can say if I'd had an NIL deal, I'm going to be totally honest with everyone here. If I would have had this situation, Greg, I probably would have stayed in school to my senior year.
Yeah.
I was in financial distress, with my mother.
You wanted to get to the NFL.
And I bet on myself. I wrote to the NFL. They told me that I would go, because you can write to the NFL and they'll give you a prediction where you'll go. They say I go 4th through 7th round, which is not great to be leaving school at all. But we were in a situation financially with my grandfather and my mom. I was like, you know what? I want to take my chances. So
paid off.
It paid off. But guess what? I had to give it everything I got and believe, because obviously the NFL didn't believe that I was that type of talent, even though when I worked out and after I decided to come out, they evaluate you a little bit different. I still owe Joey Galloway. Y'all remember Joey Galloway from Ohio State, the real fast guy? I need to send him a Rolex or something, because I got all kind of calls. He ran a 418. I said, damn. So my phone started literally ringing off the hook after Joey Galloway ran that call. Because when I played him, Michigan, Ohio State, the big game, over 2 years, he had 3 catches. I had 3 catches. Yeah. Mine was interceptions, so I was covering him one-on-one. So I really got to credit him. Damn, he don't know that. Now he gonna be calling me like, man, let me get that Rolex, dog.
Send the case of vodka.
Yeah, send the case of vodka. But he was actually one to help me. By the way he ran, people start paying more attention to me. And Coach Parcells, Bobby Grill took a chance on me in New England, and the rest is history. The rest is history, and I'm glad they did.
Hey Ty, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
I got 2. Number 1, who got the best of the practice battles between you and Troy Brown? Number 1.
Hey, well, out of the practice battles, me and Troy used to go at it. I ain't gonna lie. But me and Troy, he would tell you, we had the buddy system. We sit up there. Let me give you an example. If I'm covering you here, what we got today, dog? I feel good. All right, let's work. Now, if I come up there and I go to Troy and we playing bump and run, and I'm sitting there like, what we doing? What we doing? He's like, I'm tired as hell, dog. I said, all right, let's make it look good. And then we'll sit there and just go through the motions. So
that was a partnership.
That was a partnership. That's what Corvus is all about, partnership. So we had a partnership out there, but when it was time to compete, when we scrimmaging, we would go at it. Like, I think I had the advantage on the outside, when if he had to ever be on the outside. I think Troy had the advantage on the inside because he able to work that slot, and Troy was the master. It wouldn't be no, Wes Welker or Julian Edelman without Troy Brown. He was the master of the inside route. So
great question.
You know what I mean? That was a great question, man.
You had a follow-up?
Yeah, number 2. I've always been baffled. There's been so many quarterbacks that have failed in the NFL. Do you think the NFL has a talent development problem when it comes to quarterbacks?
I mean, you got to think, out of all the positions in football, the quarterback is the most important position, and it's only 32. So they're going to be, everyone wants to be one of those 32, you know, and they're looking for different things. And what is the prototype quarterback? Before, the prototype quarterback was, you know, a pocket guy. The game is changing now. You got to be able to run. You know, you got to be able to run and throw. So the quarterback is always going to change. And, yeah, it's always hit or miss. You can take a guy in the, I think it's probably been more first-round bust quarterbacks than any other position. I know it's magnified, but think about all the first-round, first overall, second overall picks, top 5 guys that was quarterbacks who didn't pan out compared to everything else.
And you got to be durable.
And they got to be durable, right.
You look at Josh Allen, how big he is.
Right,
That's that.
He's
you're
special.
Talking about.
I would say he's special. If you're talking about a quarterback in today's game, even, you know, you're talking about Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, I think a lot of people will still look at Josh Allen as that prototypical quarterback that can actually run, you know, as DBs. You know, we can't wait. I'm talking about we can't wait to see a quarterback because we're going to lay into his, I didn't say it. We're going to lay into him real good because you want to hit the quarterback. You know,
all right, we got a few minutes.
Exactly.
We want everybody to go.
You don't want to hit Josh Allen, but go ahead. What'd you get?
Hold on. Hold on, we're going to get you the mic. Hold on.
So what are your 5-year plan with the company, and how are you different than other vodka company?
Well, great question. Well, within the next 5 years, I want to work this thing so hard, and I want to bring attention to, you know, what we're doing. I want to be the spirit of choice, first and foremost in New England, but across the U.S. I feel like, you know, by the time 5 years come, you know, I want to be sitting where Corvus is recognized like a Tito's, a Grey Goose, a Kettle One, and some of those other great brands out there, but it takes time. So it's going to take about, you know, 5 years. And, you know, as far as the, you know, the passion I put in it, I feel like Corvus is going to be raised right here in New England. You know what I mean? So I look at it as a New England product. We got 6 states. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got your, you know, Texas is a huge state, but in this region right here, you know, I got this thing. I'm going to put it out there now. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, Greg. The next shirt is going to be the referees. I'm going to have the, you know, I do this thing at all my Halloween parties, and I'm always the referee. So I'm going to blow the whistle at every restaurant. If you ordering something other than Corvus, I'm going to blow the whistle. I'm going to throw the flag on your ass. You know, I carry a flag around, you know, and we're going to challenge. I'm going to have a yellow challenge flag. I'm going to challenge bartenders to, whatever your vodka drink is, put it with Corvus. I'm going to be throwing a flag. So we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Like I said, when you see me carrying the whistle, y'all know I'm coming to work. You know what I mean? So it's going to have a good time. But that's where I want to be. I want to be the drink of choice and the vodka of choice, you know, everywhere. But we're going to start right here in New England in 5 years.
And
absolutely.
What's in your mind? What's great question? Differentiator. Is it taste? Is it you?
No, I mean,
is it what you're doing for the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
When you're talking about, first of all, people come out there. Yes, you wanna make money. I think any business you want to be profitable and make money. But I think, you know, the cause, you know, for mine is one differentiator, because what does that do? It affects the bottom line at the end of the day. You know, when you're doing it for a cause, but it's bigger than, you know, just Corvus, because, like I said, I wouldn't be here without that. You're talking about, you know, the message, the packaging. Look at the bottle. Hold on, man. Have you seen this bottle? Come on, look at that. Look at that. Go ahead, go and hold it and feel it. There you go. Hold it and feel it. Pass it down. That's raised up. That's good stuff right there. So you're talking about the packaging, the flavor profile, and it's 6 times distilled compared to a lot of other ones, and we're charcoal filtered. So we're 6 times distilled, charcoal filtered. So when you're talking about the cause, the packaging, the message, and what we're about, I think that's what differentiates us, and we're smooth too. Take a shot of that and take a shot of your favorite vodka. You tell me what's cleaner or what's smoother.
So Greg, I want to apologize. It's empty because we knocked it off out back before we came out today.
Yes.
So
we did. It's really, really good.
I've got a couple time for 2 more.
Oh yeah, 2 more. And guys, and I want everybody to come over to the Corvus room. Let's take some pictures. Come taste the vodka. And let's enjoy ourselves. So I'm going to expect to see everybody over there. Y'all going to see that big Corvus sign. I'm going to keep the jacket on. We're going to take the bus. Let's post it online. Let's get the word out, because, damn it, we in New England. We ain't in Texas.
How's it going, Ty?
Good.
Appreciate you taking this time today.
Yeah.
With the success that you had in this market with the different partnerships and businesses that you've been a part of, what can you tell yourself as, just starting off in the entrepreneur fair? What would you say to yourself?
You know what? First of all, before you start anything, do your research. A lot of times you get sold a story and they tell you this is going to be good, this is good. Don't jump into it, and then, if you have a vision, believe in it. If you're entrepreneurship, but I think doing your research as far as whatever you're going to get in and you believe in yourself, even when other people don't believe in you, just go out there and do it. You got to do it because everyone talks about being an entrepreneur. Everyone says they can do this. They say their ideas, but they never go out there and do it. And guess what? A lot of times, if you think about entrepreneurship, 9 times out of 10, the first one you fail. You know what I mean? I can sit there and talk about the things that I want, but I've invested, I've tried things that I've lost.
You learned, like if you look at your first go at it in this space, you learned a lot from that.
Hey, for free. Somebody else made a lot of money, but I was working for free. You know what I mean? So I look at it, but you got to turn that into a positive and say, okay, what did I learn from that? And what I've learned that this is about relationships, partnerships, hard work, getting out there, you know what I mean? Putting out a great product. And if you do that, when nobody else believes in you, if you believe in yourself, you could be successful. And understand that it's not going to be, hey, I'm going to do something this week, and then next year I'm going to have $50 million. That is not the real world, because none of us would be working right now if that was the case. You got to understand that it's a process to it. And I think any entrepreneur that's really going to do it, they got to understand that it's going to take time. And time is not what some people, you don't have a lot of time, but if you want to be an entrepreneurship, you got to be able to put in the time, and that's how you're going to be successful. If not, you might as well just go play the lottery, go to 7-Eleven, and give me a quick pick.
Great question.
Greg and Ty, last question right over here.
Yes.
Who was the biggest, best trash talker you played against?
Oh, we had a lot of them out there, but I say from a receiver standpoint, Joe Horn was a talker. Joe Horn loved to talk. Even, my brother, my teammate now, Isaac Bruce, he had a different way of doing it. Isaac Bruce had the silent trash talking. Joe Horn was always, wow, and was a great player, and that's what got him going. Chad Ochocinco was a great trash talker. You know what I mean? But he knew how to
couldn't figure out how to understand a playbook. But
but a great trash talker to try to get up under your skin. You know what I mean? And I would say those three. But Isaac Bruce was so different with his. It was so funny because it wasn't a lot of talking. He would be like talking to himself, but he would kind of walk through your warm-up line or while you're exercising, he'll be right there, you know what I mean? Not saying much and just giving you that look, but he trash talking, you know what I mean? So, with his body language, but those three, were the good ones. And Ocho, I think, the most creative and would have something different every single game to say. Some guys are pretty much the same. Ocho gonna have a different every single time, something he can pick on.
That begs the question. This will be my last question.
Okay.
You walk into a 110 grill and you encounter a rep from another vodka. Are you going to immediately start trash talking that rep from the other vodka?
No, I'm going to go right to the bartender and throw the yellow flag on their ass.
Get them out.
Hey, let's challenge. Let's put it on the table. Let's go.
Ty, one last question. When is the vodka going to be available for people to purchase?
Hey, the vodka is going to be available. I'm sitting there saying, the vodka, we're the official vodka of the Hall of Fame, which starts in August, but in the summertime, we're going to, I would say mid-June, it'll be available everywhere. Yeah, mid-June, we'll be available everywhere. And guess what? We're going to be in Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Dale, I'm telling you, I'm holding her to the fire. Dale, she's sitting right here in the front. We want Rhode Island too now. We want Rhode Island. I got you. So mid-June, I'll be there.
Ty Law, Martin Yeti booth, 613.
Hey, Martin Yeti, thank you. Hey, come on down to the booth. I'm going right.